Okay, I'm recording this video after the close of trade on Tuesday the 13th of April 2010, and I knew we'd have a big day today. We had a very quiet day yesterday. Just looking at my 1500 tip bar chart, you can see during the day sessions, this is the beginning of the day session, end of the day session, we had a very kind of compressed range, only about 4 or 5 points or so. But you know, after you kind of have small range days like that, the market's just itching to break out into a bigger range, and this is what we did today. So we hit a low of 1185, hit a high of about 1195, so 10-point top to bottom range, which was great. Put in a nice trade. My setup, I've got a video just after this one I'll put up, which is the real-time video that seems to be going down quite well. People seem to like these, just showing the reasoning and the thinking behind my setups and the trades that I'm taking. I was looking at this cyclical turning point here. Up at my entry was at 1191.50, but we just had a professional bar. If I go back and have a look at this in some detail, we just had a professional bar print up at these highs. It was a cyclical turning point, and we'd had a bearish divergence signal on better momentum, no demand pattern coming up into these highs, and you can see the amount of buying that was going on was very weak. This is the better momentum indicator here. The zero line is the dotted white line. If you have kind of net buying, it's on the positive sign. Net selling is on the negative side, and you can see that we were kind of testing these highs of the highs for the day, and there was extremely little buying going on. So I went short on a break below the low of the professional blue bar there at 1191.50, and then the market kind of pretty quickly went off in my favor, which I was happy about. But then we had a retest, and this point where we came back up to retest where I entered, stuck with the trade, and this is why. So we had professional blue bar at the top of this little peak here. We've also got an amateur bar prior to that, and then a bearish divergence signal. So this for me is showing that the amateurs are trying to push the market up. Immediately the professionals step in, and it's kind of a last chance to get short at that point. We have a bearish momentum signal as well, which is very good, and then we're off. You know, really nice fast move to the downside. I took profits at 1188 for 3.5 points, but the move was actually good for another 3 points. You can see in the video why I took points on the lower time frame. There were some signals around the 88 level that said to me I just wanted to take my profits and get out. But as you can see, we had a little bit of a professional bar here, but then the real professional activity didn't kick into the very end of the move. We've got all of these volume accumulation patterns here, profit taking, no supply, a Rambo pattern, and stopping volume down here. This last one's really nice. This is a Rambo pattern, so the amateurs right at the end of the move saying, my god, this thing's just collapsing, I need to get short. And of course, as it goes to new lows, the professionals step in immediately. If you've got these two professional blue bars down at the bottom, professionals step in, we get exhaustion selling down at these lows, and all of a sudden the market reverses, and the market kind of reversed to the upside. This was a really nice move, a 10-point move here. I was done after 3.5 points. That was time for me to quit for the day. The reversal move was really nice and ended up with the end of the day with a pullback and end of trend warning signal here to mark the peak of this market. And again, coming into the peak here, you can see professional blue bars coming up all into the high, a couple of bullish divergence points, bearish divergence points here, these white dots on price up here, no demand at the top, and that signaled the top of this move. Very nice move. Something I just want to talk about just really quickly on this. At this point here, where we were kind of coming back for a pullback and a downtrend move on this 1500 tip bar chart, I mean, the turning point looked good at this point here, where we were kind of rolling over. We had a Rambo pattern amateur bar at the top here, stopping volume, and bearish divergence with these two white dots here. So that looked as if that was going to be a good kind of rollover trade. However, we kind of came back to this cyclical resistance level and played around with it a little bit. And you can see just before we broke through, there were these two professional blue bars with a bullish divergence signal there just below that resistance point. And you can see I find the interpretation of the blue bars most helpful when they're at the extremes, and it shows me where the professionals are active. And so here we're seeing these are professionals active within this channel, this range at this point. And so once the move kind of breaks out in upwards, you can kind of backwards interpolate, if you like, a little bit, that the professionals there were just accumulating positions ready to go to the upside. And then we have an exhaustion buying signal at this point. Now that is not signaling the likely end of this trending move, because what was happening there was a whole lot of stops were getting taken out at that point there, and that's why we had this rush of seemingly buying activity here as these stops were taken out and the market kind of kept going to the upside. So you have to interpret these exhaustion signals when they're at the bottom of a price range, as we had earlier on in the day. You can say, well, that's exhaustion selling at this point. When they're just happening after an explosion out of a range like this, that for me is showing that that's kind of all the stops being hit and so on. And you can see the amateur bars were nice entry points once we had kind of an uptrend kind of confirmed. Here we have the professionals trying to sell down this move here. As soon as the high of that, I beg your pardon, this is an amateur bar, yellow amateur bar. As soon as you see the high of that amateur bar on this little retrace kind of taken out, move continues. Again, here a little bit more complex of a retrace movement coming down into the pullback in an uptrend support level, cyclical support level here, and as soon as those little highs are taken out, bang, the move will continue until we see this profit taking by the professionals happening with a whole series of kind of blue bars. So there we go. That was kind of a little bit of replay of today. I do think that we're starting to run out of steam a little bit when we look at the 4500 tip bar chart. This low for the day, by the way, down at 85, was an end of trend warning signal, so it's a cyclical support level here with all the blue bars, the professional blue bars coming into this low, signaling they were getting ready for a reversal in trend. This move up to retesting these highs at, we're trying to kick up to 1200, but the retesting of this highs is looking pretty weak at this point, so I'm going to be watching and seeing if we actually get some weakness to start to develop, because when I look at my oscillators, the trend oscillator is turned down. So we've taken profits on this short long trade that we've had over the last 4 or 5 days, signaled take profits there and reverse and go short, and that signals that we might over the next few days have some weakness in this market. Having said that, though, these short trades over this last 2-month move have been losing trades. You can see the red dotted lines here. So this move continues to surprise to the upside. So if we're going to get any sign of a downtrend developing, it'll happen with this trend oscillator move, but the jury's out as far as I'm concerned. We're also super overbought when it comes to the put-call ratio oscillator at positive 441. I look back over my charts and I think that's the highest reading I've ever seen, so it's kind of interesting. But remember, today was a net selling day. Although we kind of ended back up where we started, this 1193 level, which has been a key closing value over the last 3 days or so. The actual activity on a net basis using the trend data shows that it's a negative 24 reading on the adjusted trend reading, which shows that it's a net selling day. So let's see how things kind of develop. So there we go, quick little video. Hope your trading's going well.